back to Take It or Heave It, your indie rock review show. I'm Amy Dittmeyer, and this is Ryan Peters.
This is where we review 4 albums in 5 minutes. We tell you which one's worth your time and which one is worth the trash bin.
And you can go to HEAVEmedia.com right now and check out our MP3 player featuring singles by Strands of Oak, The Thermals, and From Monument to Masses. Breaks is the Brighton based band with an indie rock sound. Their third album, Touchdown, is set to release stateside on April 20th on Fat Cat Records. This is their single, Red Red. Breaks brings an old-school influence to the new world with Touchdown. I'm going to take it.
Intelligent songwriting and strong work on both the bass and the percussion make for a great album. So this is the third album from Breaks, and I think that Hamilton's songwriting has really grown from each album, album to album.
Yeah, this was my first album that I've ever heard of Breaks, and I really liked it. I think they have a nice standard style that kind of stems from like bands like the Pixies and Jesus and Mary Chain.
Yeah, that's Pixies is definitely something I thought when I listened to it.
Both of those bands I really enjoy, so I think the switch to this band was really easy for me.
Yeah, it's, the music has sort of like an ethereal, kind of like spaced out quality to it, and then the thing that I like about it is kind of right when you're about to let it drift into the background, it'll explode with melody or it'll build up to a big conclusion. It's got the hook to kind of keep you listening.
Yeah. Papercuts is the distortion pop project out of San Francisco. You Can Have What You Want is their third studio recording and is set to release April 14th on Memphis Industries. This is their single, Future Primitive.
I'm a soldier in the world, but we'll leave it all someday.
Papercuts are extremely talented, but their lack of track separation makes the album fall through.
You Can Have What You Want features some really talented musicianship, but the vocals and the instruments are overproduced and end up competing with one another. So, much like the band Breaks, I feel like Papercuts has a real ethereal, light quality to them. The difference for me between the two bands is that, unlike Breaks, it lacks a defined hook, a big melody to keep you interested.
Right. I felt like the album really didn't change at all the entire time. I kind of put it on and walked away and wasn't really watching the songs pass by, and all of a sudden 4 songs were done and I didn't even sense it. There's no key changes or tempo changes to really signify the start of a new song.
Right, and I mean, I feel like they're really talented musicians. Sometimes the production, I think, shoots the whole thing in the foot. Every single track, or almost every single track, there's a lot of reverb on the vocals, you know what I mean? Like, it's a real big vocal sound, which works for the first track or 2 or 3, but not once you get to the 7th or 8th. It almost, like you said, like runs together. There's no separation between the tracks.
San Francisco group From Monument to Masses are as epic as they sound. Their 4th album, On Little Known Frequencies, was released March 10th on Dim Mat Records. This is their single, Checksum. Monument to Masses makes a solid rock album through instrumentals and vocal samples. I'm going to take it.
The songs have the feeling of being epic, but they're laced with some prog work and some strings in different places to give it all a really interesting texture. So the band name From Monuments to Masses is a reference to the fact that the band thinks that it's the masses of people that change history rather than monumental people or like single great men, that sort of thing. Which I think speaks to the band's leftist politics, which I'd like to actually hear more of on this album.
Yeah, I liked the instrumental pieces a lot because unlike Papercuts, there were longer tracks, but they changed so frequently that easily one track could be 3 songs.
That's the thing. We're talking about like 9 and 10-minute songs in some cases, but you don't really get bored because there's a lot happening within that 9 or 10 minutes.
And the band uses more samples from audio recordings,
spoken word things,
and their own lyrics, and I want more. I want more of that because I kind of missed it on the first listen, and the second listen I started realizing how great it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the music is fantastic. I mean, I like the album a lot. I would almost like to hear more of their own, like, sort of, original lyrical content, just because I feel like the political identity adds even more personality to the songs.
Yeah. So. Handsome Furs is the Canadian love child of Dan Beckner and Alexi Perry. Their second album, Face Control, was released on Sub Pop on March 10th. This is their single, Evangeline.
Her dress was dark and clean. And how did you get here? You twist all over
singer's vocals and songwriting make bass control vibrant and dancey.
Just a good pop album, no more, no less. And sometimes when a spade is a spade, it's not a bad thing. So Handsome Furs, they're from Canada, so I can only assume that their name is a reference to bison, because isn't that what they hunt and mostly eat in Canada?
I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
So what did you think of our neighbors from the north?
I liked this album. It wasn't anything like super special or innovative, but it was catchy. It was well produced.
Right.
The vocals were really good, so it was, very entertaining.
That's the thing. I mean, it's a pop album, and they're not breaking any new ground on it. But when you do something well, you don't necessarily have to be, an innovator. Just a good indie pop album. Not bad. The Breaks album features big melodies and intelligent songwriting. Papercuts has some talented musicianship, but the muddy production ruins it. From Monument to Masses, epic tracks complement their politicized lyrics. And the Handsome Furs don't reinvent the wheel, but they turn out a great indie pop album nonetheless.
Thanks for watching Take It or Heave It. As always, I'm Amy Dittmeyer, and this is Ryan Peters.
That's right, and if you head by the website right now, you can check out our brand new podcast.
Bringing thinking new.
Put that shit in your iPod.
HEAVEmedia.com would like to thank the Polish Ambassador for creating our theme music. If you'd like to know more, go to PolishAmbassador.com.
Talking about someone queefing, it makes me uneasy.